So he leaves.
Yeah, Route 616, your home for all things Marvel main continuity. I just said we're gonna start this, and suddenly Dan's disappeared. Hey Dan, welcome back. The podcast is going.
Hey, hi.
So, welcome back. This is episode 87. It's been a while. Of course, I'm RJ. We've got Dan and Bill here.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Can we talk about Liverpool?
Oh, God.
Why? I mean, there's enough knife crime on the news. We don't need to talk about it on the podcast, too.
Oh, come on. I mean, Slots was suspended for 2 games, so he was sitting in the stands.
Do you have new recipes for rodent cooking or something?
Well, I once...
I should probably back off because I'm getting awfully close to a common Manchurian chant that will get me canceled if I say it here.
You'd be good. You'd be nice.
Yeah, I won't mention the park chant.
Okay. Fine. Be like that. No, I'm very happy. We're
Well, yeah, you beat a powerhouse of the league today. Absolute powerhouse.
Yeah, you guys struggle with them too, so fuck off.
Yeah, but we suck.
I don't know how to take that. I really don't, because you are just...
They're so bad, I can't even playfully defend them this year.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I really think you guys are going to show up against fucking Arsenal.
I wouldn't be shocked because we do show up against the tough teams.
You do. You drew us.
Yeah.
Yes. We drew you. We beat City.
Yeah.
United are the new Wolverhampton Wolves.
Wait, Bill. Who else beat City this weekend? Nottingham. That's right.
I saw Nottingham was leading. I didn't see the final score in that one.
Yeah, they beat City 1-0.
Nice.
I'm not surprised. City's also starting a collapse.
Yeah, but I mean, Nottingham's doing really well, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a hot take here.
Okay.
I'll put it out in public. I think in about 4 years' time, City are going to be where we are this season. I feel like there's a collapse coming. They're not going to be able to bring in, because of the unsurety over the charges, they're not going to be able to bring in
the players
top talent anymore. And it's going to snowball. They're going to end up with older and older players on the team. They're not going to be able to play to the division, and their board is going to start shuffling through managers, trying to fix it, get results like Pep was getting.
Yeah.
They just, right now, I have the feel of like 2013, 2014 United, where they're still pretty good, but you can tell that the cracks are getting too big to paint over.
Yeah. I don't know.
Their board is more competent than our board, but I do see a huge collapse coming, and honestly, the longer it goes on without resolution on those charges, the worse I think it's going to get, because you don't want to tie your future, if you're a top player, to a team that might get relegated out of the league regardless of your performance.
You're right. It's very true. What I kind of see happening is, if they drop out of the Europa running this year, like if they don't get into the Europa League, I can see where the league will hit them with the punishment for the charges while they're not in the Champions League and the Europa League.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's safe to punish them, and they won't be in the Premier League 2 years from now.
No, I can see that too, but
right.
I'm assuming that they're not actually kicked out because they're too big of an... I think they're too big to fail. I don't think they'll actually be kicked out of the Premier League because they're one of the top 6 teams in the Premier League. Like, if you host a City match, you're guaranteed a sellout, pretty much.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're not wrong. I mean, it strikes me, if there was a time for the punishment,
if they were going to do it based on not fucking everything up, that would be when to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that the finances are going to keep City in the league, and then they'll get relegated based on performance because they'll be hit one year with like a 50-point deduction or something, so that if they were a top team, they just barely avoid relegation. But now that the cracks are showing, it's going to be too much and they're going to get knocked out.
Yeah. But, I mean, what about that Nottingham team?
They're shockingly good this year.
You don't need to participate, Ryan, because, you don't like Nottingham. You just sit
For
there and be
people watching with no clue what was going on, when Ryan decided to actually pick a Premier League team to follow, we were advocating for them to follow Nottingham. But for some reason, Ryan got drawn in by the team that looks like WWE refs and went for Newcastle instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, no shame to Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle are a worthy team to support, but just missing the boat on a team on the uprise is pretty funny.
Yeah, but I mean, Newcastle is like City. It's a team, hoisted up on, Middle Eastern oil money, but
more responsibly used oil money. They've been having a slow, steady climb instead of spectacular outburst of spending that gets you in financial trouble, followed by collapse when that wears off.
Yeah. But, Nottingham beat City today, 1-0. It was glorious. It was just glorious to see.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the highlights to that one.
Oh,
I always like seeing bad things happen to my cross-city rivals. I say like I've ever been to that island, let alone to that city.
But yeah,
I've only been to Europe once, and that was to the Netherlands.
Oh, hey, good place to go.
Good part.
I was also like 4 or 5, so I don't really remember it.
But yeah, beyond that, in the world, we won the Four Nations Cup. Yes.
That was
as if there was any doubt. Yeah, as if there was any doubt.
In case anybody watching this forgets that we're Canadian.
No, I never doubted it for a second. I never had a moment.
But I can't fault people for doubting it after we got trounced in that first game. I figured the first time we were more interested in hurting them than actually playing.
That's what I was going to say. We were more interested in fighting.
We were making a statement. The thing was, I don't think the boys cared if they won that first game.
They clearly didn't, because it was a tough match the second time, but it didn't really ever feel like we were behind.
No, and the thing was, they knew they would meet the U.S. in the finals anyway.
Yeah.
Right? There was no question. So it was a matter of, let's just put the fear of God into them in this one, and then when we play them the next time, we'll beat them. And guess what? We did. It was good.
Yeah.
How are you, Ryan?
Oh, great.
Before we get off geopolitical sports, anyone else noticing what a fiasco the World Cup is going to be?
Don't even get me started. I have been cringing since I found out. And can you picture the cross-border with the games happening in Toronto, places like that? It's just going to be.
Yeah, even beyond that, Trump has appointed a special commissioner for FIFA that seems to exist solely to rob the organization as blind as possible. And I wouldn't put it past him, like 3 weeks before the tournament starts, to say, fuck you, we're not filling our country with foreigners. It's not happening.
Couldn't happen to a nicer organization.
No, it really couldn't, but...
It'd be like Italy and Germany going to war. I would sit back and eat popcorn. I'm sorry.
It would be really funny.
I would. Who wouldn't?
This podcast is quickly going out the window.
I just saw that the other day, and I knew I had to talk about it with Dan, though.
Yeah, I should probably stop talking right now.
No, it's okay. I don't really care what happens.
It's not like anybody watches this, so
we're all just
Yeah.
There might be one government agent that puts us on lists, but that's okay.
Bring it, bitches. I got guns. and zero conscience.
I mean,
bring it.
I'm feeling like we're getting close to the time to remind everyone why the Geneva Convention was written.
Because I wasn't there to stop them.
Yeah, sure.
What?
I know that wasn't all us before someone gets on there with historical accuracy, but we were one of the main players in it.
We were.
Oh, man, actually.
Kitty. Yeah, before some.
It was like us and the Poles.
Yeah. But fuck. Let's go on to something else here before we get ourselves in trouble. Seriously.
So the new Captain America movie blows.
Oh boy. I heard it's terrible.
Yeah, I just said it blows. It is. It's the collapse of the Marvel formula they've had since after Endgame.
I've heard a lot of it's fine. It's not offensively a movie.
The action is good in it, is the review I've heard, but the plot is paper thin and requires you to have watched a bunch of stuff that no one watched, like Eternals, which were watched by Dan and the family members of the cast.
Yeah, I watched the Eternals. What I did not watch is the Falcon and
Winter Soldier.
Snowman.
Yeah, you need to have seen that, apparently, and then you need to have seen the Incredible Hulk, which has been getting a resurgence lately, so that's not that bad.
Yeah.
Which is dumb because that movie sucks, but anyway.
Yeah, I did watch...
It's not that bad.
No, that movie sucks. Don't defend it.
I find it's more out of character for the rest of the MCU because they haven't really cemented a tone yet. Yeah. But taken as its own thing, it's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie, but I'd put it like
it's not
Marvel's tier where I don't think
it's not Fantastic Four.
No. Bad. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a bad movie. I wouldn't call it a good movie either, but it's fine.
It's kind of Venom 2 bad.
Haven't seen Venom 2, so I can't judge that.
Has its moments, just not many.
Yeah, I didn't hate watching it, so...
Well, I enjoyed the first Venom. I'll be the first to admit.
I liked the first Venom.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think we've all gone on record saying we like the first Venom.
The second one was...
I haven't watched any of the other ones yet.
I've heard the third one is a train wreck. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've got it, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm kind of waiting for a moment because I watched Hawkeye miniseries.
Yeah, I heard that one was actually good.
I personally, I really enjoyed it. Now, a lot of it had to do with, there are a couple episodes, one where Yelena and Kate, or whatever her name is,
yes,
sort of lock horns.
And Yelena Belova.
Right, they lock horns, and it's really charming, and it's really funny, and it's really well written. It's typical Marvel TV fare, but with talented enough actors to carry it on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, I think the problem with so much of the new MCU compared to when it was at its peak is that nowadays it's all written by committee.
Well, there's more to it than that.
Yeah, you're right. But originally, the first run of Marvel, they had an overarching vision, but then the creative team of a given movie was allowed to put their personal stamp on it. Like Captain America 2 was an attempt to capture the feel of a Cold War thriller and stuff. But now it's so formulaic. Everything is, we need to do this here. We need to have the same quippy dialogue. We need to have the same ties to 14 different movies to capture the feel of reading the comic books. And it's all mass produced to farm engagement rather than to actually be good.
Yeah, well, the difference I found with the TV shows between Hawkeye, say, and She-Hulk, and all these other, one-up TV show miniseries that they did, it was Hawkeye was headlined by two big name A-listers, and you're not an A-lister if you can't act.
Yeah.
right? Whereas, with the exception of She-Hulk, which had a couple of moments of Mark Ruffalo, right, and then he kind of vanishes. The rest of the new Marvel TV shows are not A-lister actors, and it shows.
It's the movies too, because
really
they're
shows.
trying to anchor the new Marvel around Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
And he's fine.
Yeah.
But he's no Chris Evans for being able to carry a franchise.
No, and this is the problem.
He's a supporting character actor.
Yeah, this is the problem they're going to have with Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
You know, David Harbour's a great actor. I really enjoy everything he does. And I don't remember her name, but the one who plays Yelena, she's a great, Florence Pugh. She's a great actor as well, but neither of them are real A-listers. They're not. They don't normally carry a movie on their shoulders.
See, I have some hope for Thunderbolts.
Kind of the main one there.
Yeah, I have some hope for Thunderbolts precisely because there are, like, no one that they're trying to present as an A-lister, so they're not going to try to make it into, like, a piece that's carried by that actor. So I think it might actually, I don't think it's going to be a top movie, but I think it might actually be a fun team movie. Like, nothing too serious, but a good popcorn film where they just have some fun.
Yeah, hopefully it will. Right. We seem to have lost Brian.
Yeah, having seen the previews, I had some hope for the new Captain America, so a lot of my hope for Thunderbolts is going out the window after finding out how bad that one was.
Yeah, well, they've got some of the funnier characters with the Red Guardian, with Yelena, with Bucky. You know.
Yeah, Bucky's a great straight man.
Yeah, the Dollar Store Captain America. You know, they've got some great characters, and the actors are good enough to play them well.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of the script. If the script isn't, like, top notch, this film's going to land on its face.
Yeah, because I'm hoping for, like, not at the same level of quality, but something similar to what happens with the first Guardians, where you take a virtually unknown team and put mostly people that aren't big stars yet on there. Because, like, when Guardians 1 came out, Batista was still that one of the wrestlers that acts.
Yeah.
You know,
but the script was good enough.
Star-Lord, I forget his actor's name, Chris something, but he was that guy from the TV show. Yeah, he was known for being on a decent comedy TV show, which doesn't typically position you as an A-list actor.
No, but their script for the first Guardians was so strong.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping they can reproduce, where they don't have to try to make it a vehicle for getting one of the actors over as like a face of the franchise or something. Well, they can just make a fun script.
Yeah, I noticed that Thunderbolts has been getting a lot more press release. Like, they're pushing it hard, which they didn't.
Well,
do
they had done some rewrites and stuff for it too. I think, with the same time that Daredevil got revamped and everything. This is like we're hitting the wave of Marvel stuff that saw some new creative directions take place.
But there are a lot of people out there who didn't even know there was going to be another Captain America.
Yeah, I think they pulled back.
Everybody knows about.
I think they pulled back a bunch on the marketing of Captain America, given the political climate in the States too, because the president becomes the end. Well, not that so much. I'm talking about Harrison Ford as a very phoned in Thunderbolt Ross becoming the president, and then also being the antagonist of the film.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't want to draw too much attention to that and draw the ire when Disney was already not popular with that side of the aisle.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably going to come out. There were some pretty extensive rewrites in there. And because, the comic arm seems to be very willing to go overtly political. The movie arm is not willing to do that.
Yeah, they don't have the strength of history behind them.
Yeah, and people actually watch the movies, whereas the sort of people that would complain don't actually read the comics.
True. But the marketing for Thunderbolts is strong.
It is. I hadn't even heard of it until I saw previews, and I was like, "Oh, this actually looks really good."
It looks funny, which counts.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think it's an Oscar-worthy movie or anything, but it looks like I'll have fun at it. And that's all I ask for with a superhero movie.
Yeah, speaking of Oscar-worthy films, I just watched a movie called Lee. Don't know if you've heard of it. It's a story of God, I can't remember her full name. She was a photographer during the Second World War. She was a former model who went to work for, I think, Vanity Fair or Cosmo or something, and did a lot of war photography during the Second World War. Was one of the only women on the front line for the Allies.
That could be really interesting.
Right in the middle of it. It's a true story. It's based on this woman's life, and it's a commendable movie. It's upsetting as hell. It's not easy to watch at times, but it's a very commendable movie. I don't think it'll win Best Picture, but because it got released right in the middle of the dead zone time where it's not.
Yeah, no one will remember. Even if it's brilliant, no one will remember it by the Oscar voting season.
By the time Oscars comes out, yeah, but it is a good film.
And actually, that probably makes it better because it's not Oscar bait. They wouldn't be releasing it this time of year, and Oscar bait movies usually aren't great.
No, but it is. Like I say, I recommend it simply because I enjoyed it. It's a departure from comic book movies for anybody who's wondering. If you are watching this, it is not a comic book movie.
If you've made it this far.
Yeah, if you've made it this far, guess what?
There will be comics to talk about at some point.
Yeah, but
it's Tales of Asgard. We have to pad somehow.
I know. Yeah.
But I also what have I watched lately that was worth talking about?
Not much, apparently.
Well, Beetlejuice was Beetlejuice.
Be careful what you say.
I'm being very careful what I say with that one.
Oh, come on. Moira doesn't watch this.
No, but if she ever clued in, she'd kill me. Patricide. Right. But yeah. Nosferatu.
Everybody loves that movie.
It is. Okay, now, I've been watching vampire movies my whole life. I love vampire movies. I'm a massive fan of Murnau's original Nosferatu film.
Well, I mean, it's Bram Stoker's Dracula, so...
Yeah, only it's genuine.
It's
scary.
not legally distinct enough since they got sued over it.
Well, all the copies were supposed to be destroyed and weren't.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, it is legally Bram Stoker's Dracula because they got sued and lost over how it being its own thing.
Yeah, which makes me wonder how they managed to get this film made. But it's really, really good. It's
Dracula, like the book Dracula, might be public domain by now.
I suppose if the Stoker estate didn't renew it, yeah.
Well, you can only renew copyright for so long.
Yeah,
and I think its copyright has probably expired, even if they were renewing.
I suppose, but I would recommend it just simply because artistically it's just a treat. The story is exactly what you would expect. The Nosferatu is not what you would expect. I was surprised, but totally thrilled with it. It was
a
really
meme
good.
Icon, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, it was really, really well done. It was very well done, and I'm happy they did it. It was a good movie, but boy, I have not watched a lot of new movies.
Yeah,
recently.
I mean, not a new movie, but for weirder horror, I saw The Quiet Man from 2020 recently.
Quiet Man.
It kind of slipped out during the peak pandemic.
Oh,
but I don't want to say too much about it if you're not familiar with it.
Okay.
Because it's very strange.
All right.
But it's a very... Well, I'm not going to... It's an interesting horror movie. I'm not sure if I consider it good or not yet. Like, it kind of sits in that weird spot.
Okay.
But it's worth seeing.
Okay, well, I will take a look at it. One movie
they do some stuff that like mainstream horror movies don't usually feel comfortable doing. Okay. And I think they got away with it because they slipped it out during the pandemic and no one really paid attention.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll check that out. That sounds good.
I think the both best and yet strangely misleading description I've seen of it was someone said that it was a better Slender Man movie than the Slender Man movie.
Well, SpongeBob's a better
Slender Man movie.
Yeah, but it's not entirely accurate to that. But they kind of play with. I'll say enough that they play around with the concept of a tulpa.
Okay. I will watch that. I will be interested in that.
Yeah, it's worth seeing if you like horror movies, even if you don't come away liking it, just because they take some risks that mainstream horror movies don't usually feel comfortable taking.
Okay. I did watch a movie that came out, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Recently, I watched it. That surprised me. I don't even know what prompted me to actually sit down and watch the film. It's a movie called Upgrade. And it was...
I think I've seen that.
Substantially better than I thought it was going to be. It was one of those movies with an unknown lead actor. Well, he's known now, but he was unknown at the time.
Logan Marshall Green.
Yeah.
Not that known now. I have no clue who that guy is. And I think I've seen Upgrade, and I still don't know who that is.
But when it came out, it just kind of flew in under the radar. I don't think it did well in theaters. I don't think it, did very well at all. But
that guy.
For some reason, I decided to sit down and watch it the other day. And I really, really liked it. It was, for tech people, because it's more sci-fi than anything.
Yeah, it's a cyberpunk, I'd say.
Yes and no. It's a morality tale.
Yeah, but I mean, if I had to jam it into a genre, I'd probably say cyberpunk.
I guess, yeah. But it's kind of what I thought was a rather brilliant warning for anybody who's concerned about AI. It was really, really well done. And I came away from it, although the ending is a slight cop-out, I say slight, I came away from it going, this movie should have gotten a major release. This movie should have gotten more attention. It's kind of like, oh God, I can't think of an equivalent movie, but this movie should have gotten way more attention than it got. And if it was released today, or had been released with a bigger name lead actor, everyone will be talking about it. Because it was really well thought out. It was really well filmed. It was really well acted. It was really well directed. Everything about it was really, really good. Above par. Right. 8 out of 10.
Wow. For you, that's quite a...
Yeah. Oh,
it has a 7.5 average from what I've seen.
Yes, but this is Dan's rating.
I know, that's Dan's really good for
this is a great movie. Yeah. You guys should watch it. 4 out of 10.
I don't do that. I go 6 or 7 out of 10 if it's really good. Right, if it's brilliant, then I'll go 9 or 10.
But I have to exaggerate a bit.
You do. Just kind of like, most Man United fans. But no, I'm sitting here, we pestered the heck out of Ryan to watch Spotlight at some point, because that's such an important film.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I know.
We know, or you'd be talking about it.
Yeah. I mean...
And I lived through that era. I was an altar boy during that era. In Antigonish. Okay. I grew up in
sorry.
No, I grew up in Antigonish.
I know, that's what I'm sorry about.
I lived a stone's throw away from the bishop's house. Okay? We used to play friggin' baseball in his backyard. Okay? I was an altar boy.
And you played another game with sticks and balls in his basement.
No. No, well, I have a very different perspective on it, I think, than some people. But like I said, I was an altar boy during that time, right? One of the priests that got arrested,
I think it's more impressive that you
was a priest at the chapel where I was an altar boy. I knew the man. I knew him well. Right? This movie needs to be seen by everybody.
It is. I mean, I don't have that sort of a connection to it, but even so, I would agree entirely with that.
Yeah, well, my connection is very direct, which I think might color the fact of how much I like the film. But like I say, my connection is right there, spot on. And I can remember at the end of the film when they were flashing up all the names of the places the priests that had been arrested, or had been involved in this, and Antigonish came up. It was like, yeah, I know exactly who it was and what was going on, and it's something. And Ryan's not paying attention at the moment; he's talking to somebody. But yeah, I recommend Spotlight to anybody and everybody who's paying any attention.
Yes.
You need to watch this film. Put it on your list, Ryan, and bump it up to the top. Right? You want to watch this film. We're not going to steer you wrong. Maybe. But you need to watch this movie. Well,
there's a 50-50 shot with me because I will either recommend to them a great movie or something that's absolutely terrible, and I will find it hilarious when they watch it. And I get a message at like 11:30 at night, like, fuck you, why'd you make me watch this?
Okay, that's fair. I
think we should say I can trust Dan.
Yeah, you can when it comes to this. Watch Spotlight, then I want you to watch Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Yes. Much yes.
Big time yes. Rowdy Roddy Piper stars in it. He's gone again. He's off in his own little world. Are you still there? You still with us, Ryan?
Yes, I have a distraction.
We know. I watch Hell Comes to Frogtown. It's got a WWF wrestler starring in it. You need to see this. This is the ultimate low-budget sci-fi. And Rowdy Roddy went on to do They Live with John Carpenter, was it?
Yeah.
It's a John Carpenter movie?
It's not John Carpenter.
Yes, it is.
But is it?
Oh, no, They Live is John Carpenter.
They Live is John Carpenter. Hell Comes to Frogtown isn't John Carpenter.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Sorry,
although, on the subject of low-budget mystery or low-budget movies that are absolutely worth watching, Hot Ticket to Hawaii, I think it's called.
To Hawaii.
Oh, we're talking super low budget.
Okay.
But it is hilariously bad.
Okay, I'm game.
It's like a spy action thriller.
Okay.
The three leads are Playboy models, not their characters. So that's the caliber of acting we have.
Okay.
Yeah. And everything explodes.
Oh, okay.
I think at one point, one of them throws a rock at a helicopter and it hits the rotors and the helicopter just explodes in the air and stuff.
Nice.
It is horrible by any cinematic judgment, but if you want just stupid comedic fun, it's so funny.
Okay.
Not for any deliberate reasons, but it's like The Room of low-budget action movies.
Okay. Well, speaking of low-budget action films, Amazon now officially owns James Bond.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah,
and that means the franchise is probably dead.
Yep, that's the end of James Bond.
Because they will fuck it up. They will not understand why James Bond is good.
Oh, they will destroy it. They will absolutely destroyed. Oh, are you still there?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. Any other movies we want to recommend to Ryan?
Not on my end.
I was going to say earlier, we got off the Marvel track a bit fast, but I was going to celebrate Daredevil being back because apparently it's quite good besides like some shitty action.
I've heard it's really good, yes.
Apparently it's awesome. Besides some shitty action that they opened with, but from what I've heard.
Alien 7, Romulus. Good movie.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, I think so. Because it was right after I watched it, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very good movie.
Because we all like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Good Will Hunting, as we know. That was a movie.
A
little behind. It was a little overrated, but still quite good.
You haven't watched Clockwork Orange yet, for God's sakes. I think you've watched, what? Of all the movies we've recommended, you've watched like 3 of them?
Well, you know.
No, we don't know. Explain it, Ryan. Now's your chance. You're live on air in front of the world.
Publicly admit that you won't watch something if it's too good.
Open that pie hole and confess.
You know, there's a lot of things to watch and not enough time.
Which is why instead of watching Spotlight, you're watching shitty studio wrestling from 1992 in Memphis.
I finally got around to finishing Daredevil Season 3, so that was something. That was awesome.
It would take you 2 hours to watch Spotlight. You will come away from it profoundly affected. You will. It's incredibly well acted. It's got Mark Ruffalo in it, for God's sakes. So, there you go. And Batman. So it's got the Hulk and Batman in it. Right.
Which Batman?
Batman.
George Clooney.
No,
it's actually good.
Shut up, Bill. Shut up.
Michael Keaton. Bill's throwing it away.
Yeah, no, Batman. Michael Keaton's
I was trying to make it sound shitty so Ryan would actually watch it.
Rachel McAdams, who was in Doctor Strange, she's in it.
I noticed that when I searched it up.
Yeah, who else? Was there anybody else from the Marvel franchise in it?
I'm not even caught up on the Marvel franchise. I don't know.
Jamie Sheridan hasn't been in any Marvel movies, has he?
I don't think.
No.
I'm trying to look up the cast right now because I don't remember who was in it.
But there's at least three Marvel Universe actors in it.
Stanley Tucci, I think, was in something Marvel.
He must have been, but what? He's in everything. He must have been. He's phenomenal in this movie.
Oh yeah, Stanley Tucci's great.
Yeah, he's phenomenal in this.
Yeah, I think he was Dr. Erskine in Captain America.
Yeah,
he was. Yes,
he's one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents that turns out to be Hydra.
No, he's Dr. Erskine. He's the one who creates Captain America.
Okay.
He's the one who creates Captain America.
Sorry, you look like the other bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that narrows it down.
Sometimes I get all the bald guys confused.
Dr. Legally Distinct Einstein.
But yeah, so
because Erskine is totally Einstein, and they just couldn't say it because he was a real person, and I think still alive when they were publishing those originally.
Yeah, so yeah, there you go. 4 different Marvel Universe actors are in Spotlight.
Well, 3 at Marvel and the DC.
Yeah,
we're on a Marvel podcast. We need to know that Batman is not Marvel.
My bad.
You're supposed to be the DC fanboy here.
Yeah, that's right. I am, aren't I? Yeah.
But I suppose we weren't talking about Ragman.
No, you weren't, you pricks.
We haven't in a while.
No.
I know, that's why it was a good callback.
No, I think it was even Red Ragman.
No, we will continue to not.
I will at some point.
Well, yeah.
You won't regret it. You won't regret it.
I hope I like it, and if I like it, I'm still going to shit on it just because it's Dan's favorite.
No,
I'm going to dunk on Ragman no matter what, but I hope I like it too.
I really do think you will like it. I do.
Yeah, and I'm going to bury him still, so.
I probably will. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it from people whose opinions I trust more than Liverpool fans.
Gun-toting Liverpool fans at that.
Yeah, that's right. Don't forget it, bitches. Don't forget it. You're fucking right.
One knife crimes aren't enough.
Wow, that hurt to bite off, but I did it. What I haven't watched, that's what I haven't watched, is The Gorge. I want to, and I'm going to, but I haven't watched it yet.
I think I know that one.
I've been hearing it thrown around a lot recently. I don't know if it's actually...
Miles Teller, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite good, isn't it?
Sci-fi, horror-ish. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard of this at all.
Came out on Valentine's Day.
Yes, but it was an Apple TV exclusive.
Yeah,
and I don't pay attention to a lot of the streaming exclusive stuff.
Apple TV stuff, I don't have Apple TV, so I don't pay attention to it.
It's funny because Apple TV is one of the only ones I actually have for MLS Season Pass.
Well, but, Apple TV actually consistently has been putting out awesome stuff, apparently, from what I hear.
Yeah, well, The Gorge is worth watching, from what I hear. So
it's like the only streaming service I actually have between MLS and then Vox Machina and Has-Been Hotel. But I still don't pay attention to like movies getting released there because I'm probably not going to watch them anyway.
Yeah, well, I saw a preview for The Gorge. I saw the trailer, and it looked really, really good.
The premise I just saw when I was Googling it looks interesting.
It caught me, and like I say, the people that I've talked to that have watched it said they really enjoyed it. It's more of a European style horror sci-fi movie than it is an American
probably better.
style. Yeah, more that than an American style.
Because the American style is still way too fixated on jump scares.
Yeah. Yeah, this is more European style of film. So, it should be good. But, shall we talk about comics?
Well, we've hit 42 minutes, so I think we can transition finally. By the way, we are a comics podcast, first and foremost, if you believe it or not.
And we don't mean comedians.
No.
Although Ryan's taste in media can be quite funny.
He could do a stand-up just talking about his taste in movies. He could.
Well,
and people would laugh him off the stage. Halloween by Rob Zombie, just such a great movie. And that would just kill everybody in the audience. They'd die laughing.
I mean...
Then he could talk about Monster House for the few people still left standing that aren't clutching their sides laughing.
I mean, I'm sure I could do as good as Tony Hinchcliffe at least, so...
Well, steady on.
I just won't mention Puerto Rico, but...
Yeah, that's a place. I thought you said these were like 5-minute stories.
They are.
Have you seen the synopsis for mine?
No, we haven't seen the synopsis, but they're literally 5 pages long.
I only pulled up mine. I didn't care what you guys got.
No.
I haven't even scrolled down far enough to look at any of my synopses because you forgot to tell me before we started, so I was hastily opening them while we were recording.
Okay. Okay, Ryan, do your thing.
Well, today we're covering some Journey into Mystery for some Tales of Asgard. We're doing 7 stories, but they're all only 5 pages. Get fucked, Dan, I guess, if yours is a long synopsis.
I suspect Dan is looking at the A-story synopsis.
No,
I made sure he was on the right ones beforehand.
Yeah, no, I'm on the B story, and it's 6 sentences. That's like more than a sentence per page.
Yeah, but you have the one where they're actually setting sail, so I think more happens in that one than the others.
Oh, okay.
My first one's 2 paragraphs, so
mine are 2 paragraphs, I think. So they go into great details for these 5 pages.
Mine is 3 2-sentence paragraphs.
Wow.
I know, right?
Big man on campus.
Okay, I say it's 2 paragraphs, but it's also only 4 sentences.
Oh, I'm just saying, for a 5-page story, that's a lot of writing.
These stories are surprisingly content dense for only being 5 pages.
Yes.
Just say dense and leave it at that.
Why, I'm not talking about Ryan's taste.
Oh. Oh.
It's been a 2-minute break. Come on.
Well, I can't make fun of Dan's media taste because I tend to agree with him.
Yeah,
because you respect
he and I have
Dan's.
taste. Bill and I have taste. I don't know about Ryan.
Ryan has taste.
It's
just bad. Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
Sounds like Dan's breaking up a line of Coke with a credit card over there or something. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe I am.
Wait, we're talking about 7 journeys into mystery?
Washington is calling your name, pal.
Oh, I don't doubt there.
But anyways, let's talk about Journey in the Mystery number 117 B story first. This one is called The Sword in the Scabbard. We have Stanley
and please keep your swords in the scabbard. We want to be a general audience here.
Remember, flies spread disease, so keep yours closed. Sorry.
Broken Ryan. It's written by Stanley, art by Jack Kirby.
Yeah, covered by Vincent Coletta.
They haven't mentioned the inker, but it's... I don't remember who inks this. It's the usual Thor ink team. I think it's Coletta.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure these are all inked by Coletta. It's just the usual Thor creative team.
Yeah.
By this point, they've somewhat standardized the creative teams for most of the major stories.
Yeah, this was an April 1965 release date. We've seen these covers before because we've covered the A stories in the past, but we'll shit on some later that are terrible.
This one is also fairly terrible.
It's probably one of the better of the day, which isn't saying much, but...
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with what's going on in that story.
No, it doesn't. But anyway, let's get into the synopsis. This should be pretty... Okay, yeah. We're only on the first one, Dan. Calm down.
Oh, sorry.
He's old. It's past his bedtime.
I got worn out. I got so excited over the match against Southampton.
Well, you guys did have to work for it, so...
Yeah, we did, actually. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be a blowout when I saw that lineup you named, and then...
It was 1-0 Southampton at the fucking halftime.
You must have been shitting bricks.
No, I was kind of sitting back going, we still had a full half. So I'm sitting back
going... honestly, it's a case where you could have just totally tanked that game and it would not have mattered at all.
It wouldn't have mattered, but...
I was really surprised when I saw the team slot named because I figured he was going to put out the kids and not give a shit.
No, he wants the Premier League title.
Yeah, but don't think you're losing it whether you lost to Southampton today or not.
No, but...
you're like 12 points ahead or something.
The only thing you had to worry about was getting shit on by us.
We have a game in hand. We have a game in hand right now. But right now we're 16 points ahead of Arsenal. And Arsenal still has to play tomorrow. I'm just giving
Arsenal 3 points, so that would put you like 14 points.
Yeah, we're not counting on Man U to man up.
No.
We're just not. Right, it's so not going to happen. But
if we do beat Arsenal, you win the league, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say, because this is their most important game. This is where
and there's
mathematically, if they lose, mathematically they're fucked.
Yeah, there's less than 10 matches in the game. Well, mathematically they could, or in the season. Well, mathematically they could still pass you. It's extremely unlikely.
Yeah, incredibly unlikely. Right. I mean, but again, like today, it was 1-0 at the half, and I was sitting there going, the boys will step up. We know they will. But then, 5 minutes into the second, Nunes puts one in, and 2 minutes later, Salah put one in, and then, Salah put in a sort of an insurance penalty, right? So, we were going to win regardless, but Southampton put up a fight in the first half. They looked way better than we did in the first half.
Anyway, speaking of putting up a fight.
Okay, do it.
In this tale from Asgard's past, Odin walks in on a battle between the warriors of Asgard and breaks it up. After the fight is over...
I'm impressed that I remembered after a month that this issue started with a fight.
After the fight is over, Odin asks where his sons Thor and Loki are, and are told that they are in the jousting room. There he finds that Thor and Loki are fighting, as Loki had enticed the battle outside. Odin breaks up the battle and brings his 2 children to the room where the Oversword is stored, otherwise known as the Odin Sword, as they make sure to tell us in the comics repeatedly. He pulls the gigantic sword partially from its scabbard and shows them that some unknown forces caused it to begin cracking. The sword's destruction would also bring upon Ragnarok, and so Odin asked the 2 young warriors to go out and find the one causing the destruction and stop them. That's the synopsis.
Wow. Riveting.
Yeah, they take like 3 or 4 parts to even get on their mission here, so just be patient.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good strong start.
Yeah, I gave this one a 3.
I gave it a 3. I mean, these Tales of Asgard are short, but they're a lot more meaningful than the previous ones since we actually have a story now.
Yeah, well, I've decided we're going to do something new with this podcast, by the way. When it comes to rankings...
I'm glad you let us know.
Yeah, no, when we get to the rankings part where you guys rank them, I'm going to say it. So you guys don't have to. Oh, look, Bill gives it a 3, Ryan gives it a 3.
Well, I will tell you, that's going to be...
when I just hate something and Dan's like, yeah, I gave it a 3.
I will be honest, it's going to be a pretty easy week for you.
Yeah.
Give it a 2.9.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just throw it out right now to steal Dan's fun. I gave everything we're covering this week a 3 because they're all pretty they're all pretty standard in quality.
What? Yeah.
Dan just starts seething.
I'm shocked. Shocked you gave them 3s.
Yeah,
I'm without words.
Let us talk about Journey in the Mystery number 118 B story.
Anytime you're ready.
This one's titled...
Go ahead.
The Crimson Hand. Which
is what you get when you've been unsheathing your Odin sword too much.
The regular lineup here.
It'd make you go blind.
Letters by Sam Rosen. May 1965 release date, 5-page story. And let us get on with this.
Sorry.
Preparing for their quest to stop the person responsible for causing the Oversword from crumbling, Thor visits with Morduk, who not only charts Thor a course to follow, but gives him a special glove that compels those who shake hands with Thor to tell the truth. This glove proves advantageous when Thor meets someone that Loki wishes to hire as their ship's overseer. When Thor shakes his hand, the man admits that he intended to kill Thor while on their voyage, leading to a fight between the two, which Thor easily wins and sends running, much to Loki's chagrin. With all the preparations set, Thor and Loki set sail on their adventure.
This one was fine, but it's probably one of the weaker entries. Because, this guy was so easily beaten by Thor that there was no real drama that he was ever actually going to manage to kill Thor.
Yeah, but I do like the Crimson Hand gimmick. I like how they played into the Crimson Hand gimmick leading up to it. So it kind of equaled itself out.
It wasn't bad. It was one of the more pointless ones. They could have cut this entire section. It wouldn't have changed anything.
This one felt like a victim of 5 pages, is what the thing was.
Yeah.
But anyways, not much. We've already given away that we've given 3s of these, so we can just easily move on to Journey in the Mystery number 119 B story, titled Gather
On the subject
Warriors.
of terrible covers.
Yes, this is the one I've been waiting for.
We talked about this before we started filming.
Yeah.
The cover is horrible.
This is the one that set Dan off.
Yeah, oh no, I took one look at the cover and went, oh boy, this is just... Yeah, anyway.
Already Simic apparently letters this one. I think that's the only difference, so
they shuffle around the letterers pretty freely in this era.
Dan can feel free to take us through this sturdy synopsis, I'm sure.
Continued from the last issue.
No way.
Yeah. With all the preparations met, Thor and Loki begin to set sail on their quest to learn and stop whatever is causing the Oversword to crack. Among the crew are Balder, as well as the Warriors Three, the grim warrior Hogun, the dashing Fandral, and the voluminous.
He's fat.
And the fat Volstagg. Volstagg's braggart nature causes the other ship's crew members to attack him, leaving Thor to come to the rescue of the fat one's aid. After the fight is broken up, the obviously outmatched and cowardly Volstagg compensates for his poor fighting skills by bragging about his apparent battle prowess. Back in Asgard, things are much grimmer, as Odin calls forth his most trusted advisors to show them a message that has appeared on the royal wall. For a good time, call... What? Okay.
Call Freya.
Call Freya. Removing a curtain, Odin reveals a message which reads, Ragnarok is coming, and tells all present...
Because it called Freya.
Yeah. And tells all present to begin praying, otherwise Asgard is doomed. And that's it.
So you're talking last issue about it suffering from 5 pages. This is the one I think suffered from being 5 pages. This could have been a great full-length comic with the introduction of the Warriors 3.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. That would have been fair, yeah.
I mean, they're one of the key members of Thor's supporting cast.
Yeah, and it's very much rushed here because of their constraints.
Yeah. Like, Volstagg actually seems unlikable here because they're rushing through things so much, and he's the best member of that team.
Yeah, no, Volstagg's actually very unlikable at the get-go here.
Yeah. Although, just because of the order, well, this is officially their debut, we've already seen Volstagg.
Yeah.
He turned up in, I think it was the Thor annual where Thor fought Hercules.
Thor felt up Hercules?
So. Sure did.
Inky. It is really hard to be the token straight guy in this fucking podcast. You know that, right? You do understand that.
Just bring a woman on. Half your work is done.
What's a woman?
Oh, so we're internet straight.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. No. Yeah, I'll bring a woman on at some point just because. But oh my God. Let's get to the next title.
It's already in the mystery number 120 Beast, where this one's titled Set Sail. Already some still letter for this one, of course. Still 5 pages, and Dan can take the synopsis away as well.
Okay, here we go. As Thor and Loki's quest to learn who is responsible for... God, they just repeat the same things last time.
It's probably all written by the same person.
Causing the Oversword to crack, set sail, Volstagg bids farewell to the maidens that cheer their quest on. Quickly tries to hide when his equally fat wife disdainfully looks down upon his infidelity. Wow.
I think that's a plot point that's rapidly abandoned.
Yeah. When Loki takes out his frustrations on Volstagg, Thor stops him. When Magrat and Crota attempt to assassinate Thor, they are stopped by Hogun, who witnesses their attempt on his leader. While back in Asgard, Odin consults with his Grand Vizier to make some grim decisions, of which will be told as his story is continued.
This one's really just compensating for the 5-page nature with introducing the Warriors 3 by trying to give you more background on them. Because last time we got the Volstagg introduction, this time we're getting the Hogun introduction. Because 3 of the pages are Hogun fighting.
Wow.
Not jobbing, brother.
Well, he has to feed for a little bit so he can have his comeback.
It's very true.
It's a better cover, though, by quite a bit.
Oh, this is probably the best cover on that run of Thor, despite it being one of the weakest A stories.
Yeah. But anyways, let us get into Journey in the Mystery number 121B story. This one's titled Maelstrom. We've got Artie Simic still letter in August 1965 release date at this point, 5-page story, and this is where Bill's time in the spotlight starts.
All right, I have a different overview writer because I don't get that little recap Dan was struggling with. On a voyage to learn the cause of the Odin Star slow destruction. Oh, I do. I didn't notice that before. Thor has led an army of his fellow Asgardians on a voyage to determine its cause and prevent Ragnarok from occurring. That's what threw me. The Ragnarok mention was different.
Yeah.
Entering the Sea of Fear, they have to pass the Pillars of Utgard in order to continue on their voyage. As the storm rages, Thor rallies his men to maintain courage and fight the storm in spite of Loki's bleak outlook on the situation. As the ship is battered through the rapids, Balder the Brave climbs the masthead of the ship with a great horn on some grave purpose that will save his fellows from doom.
It is really hard to be the straight guy here, okay?
Just because I get tongue-tied and fuck you, get that stuck in your head now.
Always hard to be the straight guy on this fucking podcast.
All in the blaze.
Climbs the masthead of the ship with a great horn on some grave purpose that will save his fellows from doom.
Yeah, I already said that. You two were just laughing.
Yeah, okay. We're good.
Oh,
keep on going.
Done the synopsis?
Let me guess.
That's
you both give it a 3. Let's move on.
Yeah, this one was very much a transitionary issue where they're through launching the ship and they're trying to set up the next.
So he transitioned and climbed the masthead?
What?
Yes.
We said transitionary issue. Don't get scared, Republicans. Anyways, Journey.
I mean, they're scared of transgenic mice. So.
Journey the Mystery number 122B story.
Say my name. Sorry.
Titled The Grim Spectre of Mutiny. This podcast has been cursed. I haven't even mentioned Bill's cursed shirt coming into this.
The shirt I bought on the day of Brawlout.
Yeah.
No, I got my R2-D2 shirt.
I didn't even notice that till you pointed it out.
Yep, no, it's some kind of weird arty R2.
Yeah, somebody smoked something creating that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Artie Simic letter and still. September 1965 release date, 5-page story, and Bill can take us away with this one.
All right. As Thor's ship journeys through the Sea of Fear and through the Pillars of Utgard in violent waters, Loki stages a mutiny with the aid of the dissenting Crota and Magrat, who, by the way, actually exist. Just Magrat.
Just checking.
I didn't pick up what you were doing on time. Splitting the crew in half and starting a fight between the two factors. Those two actually appear in regular Thor comics in the future, too. Rallied with Thor are the Warriors 3. However, as the battle on the ship rages, the ship itself heads towards the most dangerous part of the Pillars of Utgard, the Dragon's Jaws. As the ship enters this lethal region, the battle gives pause to the sound of Balder blazing up a fat one, who has climbed to the top of the ship's masthead with a great horn and has begun blowing it in hopes that its power might steer them to safety.
Put all your might into it.
Have I mentioned that it's really hard to be the token straight guy here?
Yes, about as many times as Republicans mentioned they're scared of being anything else.
Yeah, hold on. I'm good.
They have those lines that disappear into the...
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Steady on. We've only got one left, Trump Jr.
I'm good. Hold on, I'm going to go kill a helpless animal. I'll be right back.
Well, wrong guy, but anyways.
Well, he wasn't referencing Dick Cheney because he shot the animal instead of his hunting partner.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Journey in the Mystery number 123B story. This one's titled The Jaws of the Dragon. Same exact team, October 1965 release date, 5-page story, and Bill can take us through this one.
All right.
This cover, by the way, also shitty. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, the majority of the covers that are on this time suck.
Yeah, I just looking at this one again. Not good.
Yeah. In fabled Asgard, Odin and his advisors watch as a storm heralding the beginning of Ragnarok comes in over the vast seas, leaving them to wonder how Thor's quest goes to determine what's causing the Oversword to begin to crack, thereby causing this cataclysm. All one sentence, I might add. Well, in the Sea of Fear, Thor's ship rides through the angry waters near the Pillars of Utgard. Their ship comes close to the most deadly part, a cavern waterway called the Jaws of the Dragon, because the entrance resembles that of a dragon's maw. Once again, all one sentence.
Once again, who cares? You know.
I do, because I have to read this shit.
All right, fair enough. No, he's right. He's right.
As Thor and the Warriors 3 fight to keep the ship afloat, Balder rides its masthead, blowing in a giant horn, hoping that its sound will destroy the jaw of the dragon so that they might continue their quest. For all his trouble, Balder manages to succeed and the jaw is blown to bits, allowing their ship to pass on to the next leg of their journey, and that's it.
Oh.
At this point, they're starting to struggle a little bit, but we're heading towards a pretty big change in status quo in the next couple of issues. Otherwise, the Three's chain would have probably ended in the next couple of issues because they're getting thin on plot here.
Yeah, because it was thick and juicy to start.
You were complaining about how girthy your reading was.
I was. There we go.
Well, I would say it's comics. Pretty brief and, to be fair, from the synopsis, quite shitty sounding, even though it wasn't the group of comics.
I mean, for 1965 5-pagers, these were really good.
Yes, believe it or not, from what we've talked about.
Taken as a whole, it's not that bad.
Yeah, honest. The actual story is good. It's just it's broken up into so many parts.
Yeah, if you're gonna take, you might as well take the whole thing.
It would have been better as an A story, to be honest.
It was better than some of the A stories in this run of Thor, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
yes,
no, I think this would have been a good A story.
This was the really bad run of Thor that we struggled with a while back.
Yeah, I mean, this has enough to it to make it worthy of an A story.
Yeah, it's just the constant stops and starts of the breaks throw off the pacing.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to come up with some level of a chilliwack. Fuck. I saw a word and it came out my mouth. They're trying to come up with some semblance of a cliffhanger every single issue. And so it's forcing them to like really mess with the pacing so that they can get those cliffhangers every 5 pages.
Can I ask a question? How the fuck did you come up with Chilliwack at a cliffhanger?
Because it showed up on my screen. I got a little news update on my screen, and I saw it right in front of my face and said it.
Chilliwack.
Yeah.
DC.
Yes. That would be the Chilliwack that I saw referenced.
Okay.
But it just, the word appeared on my screen, and I'm like, brain just says it.
Was there another militia hit?
I'm sorry, because that couldn't have been more random if you tried.
It was just one of those stupid things.
I'm serious. You can't make that shit up.
No, I know.
Right? We're going to talk about Chilliwack, British Columbia now. Right.
Said nobody ever.
Thor podcast.
Said nobody ever. No.
Well, you know their Odin sword has been cracking, so.
Yeah, so have we, apparently.
We cracked a long time ago. That's why we decided to do a podcast talking about Thor comics from 1965.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, this is an exercise in irreverence. It really is.
And if you enjoyed this episode and these comics, stay tuned for next week when we do 7 more of these. Because we will be covering Journey in the Mystery 124 and 125, and then Thor 126 through 130, all of the B stories of those. For another 7 entries.
Come back next week when we hear Bill say, I give it a 3. Come back next week when we hear Ryan say, I give it a 3.
I'm changing my votes on some of these just to fuck with you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We know better now. We know better.
Joke's on you, I haven't read them yet, so I don't know how I feel about them.
Joke's on you. You're going to give them a 3 anyway.
Probably.
Most likely, honestly, the quality across this entire run is pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, I get very excited that the mention of at the build-up for Ragnarok, so... Especially after reading Modern Thor. I know
Spoilers, it ends in a wet squib here.
Probably. It's the first time, so...
We're in the era of Deus Ex Odin. So.
The first time
I suppose it would be Odin Ex Machina, actually, to do that correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like I say, all told, now the fat lady singing, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
this was way better than I expected.
Yeah, they don't sound great in synopsis form, but these are actually pretty fun and read really quickly, which is nice for the era. Even considering they're 5 pages, they're more readable than a lot of the other stuff coming out.
Yeah,
because they're still in the point where a lot of the writers haven't figured out they're in a visual medium and describe every fucking thing happening in the panel.
They're quite compact 5 pages too, for the most part. You get a lot for your 5 pages.
Yeah, I was dreading this run when I came up to it the first time, and I ended up quite enjoying it.
Yeah. No, of all the Thor stuff, I'd say this is some of the best. Because the story
honestly
is interesting.
For this era. This is where we start getting like the actual Thor mythology with Asgard and the other gods. They haven't brought in the sci-fi side of things that comes up in the A stories later on, but this is where we start getting the feel of what Thor actually is and making him feel like a different character than the other heroes.
Yeah. Well, this is slowly slipping into a more modern style of what they do now.
Yeah. I mean, 1966 is a pretty big transitionary year for them moving up. It's not modern by any standpoint, but they start getting a lot of the concepts, like integrating different titles smoothly instead of just as a gimmicky thing that stands on its own.
Yeah.
They start building a larger feel of the world. They start getting serialization down properly so it actually flows instead of being standalone stories with a single like cliffhanger moment that's resolved 2 pages into the next issue.
Yeah. No, I'm just a little surprised that it's actually as interesting as it is.
Yeah. I thought it was going to take pretty much to the Bronze Age to get a lot of the modern elements they're bringing in this year.
Yeah. I suppose. But still, at an hour and 13 minutes, we've done it.
Yes, I think we've completed the podcast.
Well, we haven't ended it yet. The computer could still crash right now.
Oh, that would be awesome.
No, we'd have to talk about all this again.
Well,
they are greatly increased in quality. They're not so interesting. I want to talk about them twice.
No. On that note, I guess we should get out of here just to play it safe.
Yeah.
Before we
Ryan's just worried we're going to bully them about their movie taste again.
And on that note...
So before we sign off, Rob Zombie, Monster House, watch something good, you peasant.
Yes, Meghead.
Well, we are of course available full in picture on YouTube to watch if you're on the YouTube channel, but we are also available on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And if you're on Spotify, click the polls. Let us know what your favorite comic we covered today. Not that there's a huge choice of the matter. We covered 7 fucking 5-page Thor stories, so just
they're consistent enough.
One.
We can't even come up with something shitty to jokingly imply is the best one.
Yeah, if you're watching this, reach out and let us know why you think Ryan's music and film taste sucks.
Let us know how much you enjoy using your crimson hand. I don't know.
No, keep that to yourself.
Mine's mounted on a mast somewhere.
I mean, it's better than a crimson hat, but still.
Yeah.
Oh, walking the line again, right at the end.
Okay. Now, on that major topic about wearing it like a hat, let's say goodbye.
See you guys later. Tune in next time.
Have a good one.
Peace out, folks.